Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Kwazeela from CZT Eni Oken. Now, this is as she says on her blog, um, it's a leaf type pattern. And, there are several out there. And, it's always good to add another one to the mix. This is neat. It starts off. I'm just thinking, how do I want to do this so I can add on? I think I'll start right here in the middle. So it starts off with a really long. You can think of this as a fescue or not fescue, flux shape, or a really long tethered orb. So I'm going to start it here and kind of come out and turn right back around on itself, but coming all the way back down to the end. So just a nice thin one. Then next to it is more of a, what I would call like traditional flux type shape. And all of a sudden I'm going, oh wait, did I jump ahead? No, I didn't. These two first. Then we're going to do some interesting auraing. The first one, so we're going to aura the tall one. But when we come down, I like how she kind of has it go into dots, and it's just a neat concept. It's almost, well, I haven't figured out the words for the shit. Hold on a second. So coming around, and then somewhere down. Well, I can make them a little bit bigger, more like dashes, maybe just like, or as if your pen is sputtering out, type of thing. Just neat. It's almost like it's a tangle and a technique at the same time. That's where I think I was. That's where my brain was going. But I was like, is there a word for that? No, I'll invent one at some point, I'm sure. Um, but just like that. Okay, then from the aura that we just did, we're kind of going to aura the bigger section here. I'm going to position my tile so it's a little bit more comfortable. So almost a takeoff and land concept. So we're going to trace over here. That's the takeoff part. And then, well, I got a little close there, but that's all right. And aura-ing, in and around. It's all going to depend on what your shape looks like. So having this bit of an S shape that then comes down and around, you would play with it and you will and have fun with it. Then, this is almost what I would call decorating time, but but this is kind of how she has designed this, because you could kind of do that with a lot of things, but let's do the decorating as she has outlined it here, and that is with just some little straight lines, and I'm lifting off my pen, trying to start on that line and lifting off the pen, not so much of a flicking motion, but a little bit. When I stopped, then it's like you kind of get on a roll, and I'm just filling in some of the little gaps, so that way, oh, that looks better. So that way it doesn't look like, oh, I was talking and being distracted while I was doing it. Okay, so we have that. Then, and actually, we're going to do the same thing down here. And then there was something she did up here that we'll take another look at. Oh, and good. This is where I kind of, when I was doing the line. And here, I did go back kind of into a solid line. And I'm looking, oh, looks like she's done that. Maybe sort of. Can't tell. Sometimes she just doesn't have anything. Sometimes, well, actually, on her step out, or on the, let's see, it's on the single picture on her blog. It almost looks solid. It's Zentangle and it doesn't matter. Okay, so then this one, and I'm going to try to come down. I didn't come down all too far on my step out, and it still looked fine. And that looks good. Okay, so then coming down here, and it looks like it is just straight lines, not necessarily, not going with this curve or anything. So actually, I'm going to extend this just a little bit. And then right from here, so just some straight lines, really similar angle. As I'm looking, it doesn't really matter. And then you can play with how long you want them. Now, the other thing I noticed, and it is in her step out. I did put it in mine, but it's not. You almost have to look for it, uh, and that is, I'm just going to run my pen down. I'm going to trace over this line and just thicken this edge the where these little lines started, and then do the same thing here. Oops. And I can just fill that right in. Okay, want it to be smooth. All right. And it's one of these, it's almost like you can hardly see it in hers. And actually she looks like she did come down a little bit into there. Okay. And on the last, I didn't notice it so much, but you always could just add a little bit of thickening. This is like shading with the pen, right? With hash marks. But you can if you want to. Um, let's see. I don't know where my other pencil is, so we'll just use this one. You can. We'll add some graphite, and let's see. Yeah. And bring it out. This we don't have a lot of room for, so you have to be a little bit careful. So that way, that's why I'm just doing a back and forth motion there. Here you can come out a little bit because you got a little bit more room. But look at how neat that is. Just really neat. Now this part I have to look, and examine. Oh, well, no. I say look and examine it. It's like I'm thinking I'm seeing something and then I'm not. Here's what I was thinking I was seeing, and was where this kind of creates an aura around this side. So like these could come down and like I said, almost create an aura. But then as I'm looking at it, nope. It doesn't. I see some different things in her sample. And actually I see, well, okay, maybe it's just one place that doesn't have anything. Just one that doesn't have anything there. It's just really neat. So let's do this. Let's try another one. Going on the opposite side. And for some reason, doing an opposite side is always, I don't know, it always just seems like it's harder. At least, or just me. Okay, and then let's do like that. We'll have these little things coming down. This is a pen that I have, I've damaged the tip. And so it likes to spin around and not to be, I don't know if you probably can't see. Some of these I turn into a chisel tip. That's what I call it. And let's just come down here. Being careful because I want to extend those. Okay, and then you know what? Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm seeing on Eni's sample that I'm not doing. I do believe these are a little bit closer up to here on hers than on mine. But then at the same time, and you look at the sample and you know that this is Zentangle and you know that it doesn't matter. so sometimes, but at the same time, it is fun to look. It's like, okay, why is mine not looking that way? What is up with that? And it's a nice thing to go and take a look and figure out, okay, well, what's not going, oh, I see what's not going right. Okay, no big deal. Not worrying about it, but just exploring that for the sake of exploring it. Because to me, it's just a learning part. I want to know. Because then if I want to have a certain effect, then, like I said, it's a learning thing. So that is cool. And then you can add more. Do take a look at the for more inspiration link, which is in the description section. I always do my own version of the step out, and then I put the originator of the Tangle, of course, a link to their blog or wherever I found it. And if there's any other information that I find about it, I always add it there. It's so neat, and I love the hash. I always want to say hashtag. The hash marks, because it just makes it gives it an old worldy feel in my book, and I just think that it's so neat. Um, really, really cool. So below that in the description section, ways to connect with me. So if you enjoyed this and maybe you want to do some online classes, would love to have you join us. Information is on my website. My website is in a continual state of working on it. The objective, though, is to categorize tangles. That's what I had set out to do that. And so you'll see tangles, and maybe all the pages aren't done, but at least I have some things there. Um, so that way you can look at the categories, and so if, for instance, being this time of year, it's October, I have a category of spooky tangles. We did a spooky tangles class not too long ago. It's kind of an annual event, and it's really fun. So I add things there as I find them. And autumn tangles, there's some other categories. I continually work as much as I can to get that updated. So so that way, below that, if you happen to be on Facebook and want to tangle with some fun and amazing tanglers, we would love to have you join us. That link is there. And if you enjoyed the video, would love to have you click like. Feel free to share it, leave comments, and if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. And with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.